Hello, my little pretties. Geez, it's me, the Queen of Lions or Shadow Lioness, whatever you guys prefer to call me. Now today, this is episode 70, yeah, of this podcast called Shadows and Pretties. Now, for those of you who follow me on my channel, this is basically where I review, you could definitely say movies, I review some, TV shows, video games, and I do all that. So it's actually something right here. I'm just gonna not gonna, lie right here, but I could definitely say right now that this is actually something. So, with that being the case and with that being said, yeah, today this is I guess you could definitely say a very special episode because today I am going to be reviewing a game that is an older game that I'm sure some of you guys who were I guess play this on computer, and if you guys were a young kid in I guess the 2000s, you probably might remember this story. And this game is called Keepsake. Now, Keepsake came out in 2006, so that makes it Keepsake to be turning 15 years old this year. Oh my goodness. Well, this game is a pretty old game, but yeah, it's a pretty good game. Even though it was made in 2006, it's actually a pretty well made game for what it is. So, if you guys happen to be, new on this channel and want to be updated with more, episodes of Shadows and Pretties, I will definitely highly suggest you, hit the subscribe button down below and ring the bell for notification. So, with that being said, we're going to basically talk about Keepsake. Now, I know I've written the series based on it, which is kind of like a continuation of it, basically. That is what my Keepsake series is a continuation of the story I wrote, which I will be getting to that in a little bit. So, we're gonna begin. Now, Lydia is the main character who just arrives at Dragonvale Academy for a school of magic. Now, the school of magic that we see right here, I am pretty sure that this is an inspiration of Harry Potter or something, because the themes of, keepsake of what's going on and all that, it reminds me of Harry Potter a little bit, but with a mix of Final Fantasy. That's kind of what this was. It's like kind of like well, a Final Fantasy crossing over with, you could definitely say um Harry Potter. So, since I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, I'm not crazy on him, but in this matter, I really do like that this is actually an inspiration probably from Final Fantasy and Harry Potter. So, yeah, that's probably where they came up with the game. Well, the game was made by Wicked Studios, Adventure Company, and the Lighthouse Interactive. So, basically, when Lydia just arrives at school full of magic, her best friend Celeste agreed to meet her outside of a nearby fountain. But however, when Lydia arrives, the school is, basically empty and Celeste is nowhere to be found. With the help of a wolf who claims to be a dragon and a familiar of the mage named Zack, Lydia sets out to find out what happened at Dragonvale Academy and what causes the disappearance of hundreds of peoples and reunite with her best friend. So that's basically what the plot of it is about. Now, you're basically playing as Lydia, solving some, puzzles. There are puzzles in the game. Some of them are hard. Well, most of them are hard, and others are just, easy as long as you know what you're doing. So, with that being said, the gameplay is just a Keepsake is a third-person point-and-click adventure game, which the user clicks areas on the screen to navigate, explore the world. The world is set up to be a fixed camera angles, showing the portion of the area the main character Lydia stands in. So the user can click on different locations and items to move, activate puzzles or cutscenes, and enter other areas. The game is played through exploring the world, solving puzzles to advance. A total gameplay length is pretty much about maybe 15 hours. My goodness. So, the engine behind Keepsake is called Guelph or something, was originally built in the Source projects, and the developers stated that the main reason was a cross-platform issue is the game 3D engine Crystal Space would work on Windows and such other places. The Sounds engine Direct Sound 3D also can support OpenL for a cross-platform. Now, the patch was released for the European version, which had a map of the Dragonvale Academy displayed from the game control hold console, and the map is purely in display. The player could not use it to quick navigation, such as like Simon and the Sorcerer. Now, this game, I'm pretty sure it takes place in Europe because I could tell that it's a pretty interesting concept. So it's most likely taking place in Europe. Like this whole concept of the game, it takes place in Europe. So that's definitely something. It takes place in Europe. And if you guys have not played this game, I highly recommend you go check this game out. It's really amazing. You will not be disappointed. For those who played it in 2006, like in the mid 2000s, like I did, you probably have remembered played this when you were younger. Like I played it when I was younger, and boy, I love that game. It was awesome. So the game received mixed reviews. Like the game has a score of 5.2 out of 10 in GameSpot, who commented the game's lackluster plot but interesting puzzles. And of course, the second half of the game, which was 7.2 rating out of 10, nothing of the second half of the game, including possibly difficult puzzles that didn't make sense most of the time. So currently the game has, kind of mixed reviews. So that's actually one reason why the game, has the stuff the way it did. Now, unfortunately, yes, Keepsake did have, a site back then. But unfortunately, it was removed for whatever reason. It was removed because, I think it's because not a lot of, I guess it didn't get as popular as it did, which is very unfortunate. It was defunct, which means the site was basically shut down for, whatever reason. It was shut down, which is kind of unfortunate because, it was actually a pretty good site for what it is. Now, to be completely honest, I actually do like how, the gameplay was. Like, the concept looked interesting, the animation looked pretty well done and made, and, the fact that, the storyline behind, certain characters and that was just flat out amazing. It features, as Lydia goes on with, trying to find out what's going on, when she meets Zack. However, Zack wants to become a dragon, so Lydia and Thea and Jet and Zack eventually come up with, you could definitely say they could come up with, some ideas to try to sit there and, try to find out what's going on with the school. You could definitely see that when it came to, Lydia's visions, she has visions of, her best friend Celeste, which very unfortunate that it became the case when, some stuff was going on. So, with that being the case, and with that being said, there are other, concepts when Keepsake was being released. Now, of course, Keepsake was then advertised, in certain different games that, Wicked Studios played a part of or any other. It's still a pretty good concept with what it is. So, it's just a really good, well-made adventure game, and I'm sure some of you guys probably have remembered seeing this. So, of course, it's usually a Siberia with a touch of Harry Potter, which I know that's what has been said in, manuals and stuff, but I find it, to be kind of like a mix between, Harry Potter and Final Fantasy. At least that's what I think. I think it kind of, it revolves around, Harry Potter and all that, but I could be wrong. However, you guys can correct me in the comments below. So, my story of Keepsake, for those who have not heard it on my channel, I highly recommend you go check it out. But for those who haven't heard it on my channel yet, I did have a playlist regarding that, so you guys could check out the playlist anytime. So, basically what happens is this. So basically, it talks about, Lydia and Celeste when they were younger, and they grow up and they go to, well, Dragonville Academy. However, as they were younger, though, we know about Celeste's past when she was younger. Like, from her, when her and Lydia started hanging out, they became really good friends when they were younger. However, though, throughout the entire, story that you're seeing, Celeste eventually loses her mother due to cancer or disease or something. It's uncertain how her mother, what her mother was sick with, but unfortunately she was sick with whatever it was. So, with that being the case, and yeah, so I could definitely say that the concept with my story was actually pretty interesting. So I could definitely say that this game was pretty popular in the mid 2000s, so it was actually pretty cool for what it is. So I definitely have to say that it's actually pretty good concept when it came to that. So throughout the movie, throughout the story I, wrote, it basically, you would basically see one scene where, Lydia's house gets burnt down and Nathaniel saves her life, and, you know, and it's just a lot of, great concepts. So there are other characters featured in the game that are in my story, like Alvandar, who is the guardian of Dragonvale Forest, and of course, that's who Celeste goes up and talks to all the time. That's who Lydia eventually, partway through the movie, comes up and talks to. And we also have to say that we also get Nathaniel, who is Celeste's father and Atlanta's wife. We also have Gustavio, the merchant, which you'll only see, for the first beginning of it, but then the second half you don't see him anymore. You'll get the Guardians, which are the free, Minotaurs that guard the entrance to the upper section of the school. You also get, Grandmaster Nightingale, who is, well, the ghost. So when Lydia and Zack eventually, when Lydia passes her trials, they go up to the second section of the academy. And once they do that, however, they've been found out by, Grandmaster Nightingale, that the only way they can get into the sanctuary in the mountains is if they find 4 items hidden in all the classrooms. Like, there's one, like, container, thing in, art classroom, one in the observatory. You see one in, the herbalism classroom, and then the one in the forge. Those, activate a portal to get to, you could definitely say they get to the sanctuary where Celeste eventually dies. Now, eventually, Celeste is already dead, because if you see the last version of Lydia's, Celeste gets very sick in this, just like how her mother was. So if you play the game, you probably understand where I'm coming from. But unfortunately, in my story that I wrote, Lydia brings Celeste back to life with whatever magic that happened to her, or whatever magic she has. It brought Celeste back to life. But in the game, however, Celeste is basically gone, which is very unfortunate and very sad. But I could definitely say the story I wrote was actually, made pretty much more sense of how the movie went, but I changed the ending just so it's not a sad one. I didn't want to have to see it make like a really sad ending, because if I did went with the original ending that Keepsake had, then the Keepsake series would never have happened. So, with that being the case, and with that being said, that probably concludes everything. So, yeah, if you happen to want to watch my newest episodes of Keepsake, like the Keepsake series, feel free to check them out, as I have one that I'm going to be narrating soon. I'm just not really sure when I'm going to have the time for that. And I am going to be in the process of making some more episodes. So, with that being said, and that being the case, that kind of wraps up this review for this episode of Shadows and Pretties. So, what do you guys think? Did you all like it? Did you not? Also, what would you have done person to help make the game or my story that I wrote a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I am the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you happen to be brand new here on this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload, so then you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro. No, wait, there's no outro. Oh my god, why am I like this? Well, part of that could be maybe because I'm tired, so that could be one of the reasons why that's the case. But I'm gonna sit there and, say this. If you happen to be brand new here, be sure to like, comment, subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so then you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next upload. Peace out, everyone.